boss got promoted twice while nobody on our team got promoted. And there was never any path laid out for, career growth or development. So like while I was able to really grow my skills and abilities, I wasn't able to grow my career. And I actually took a pay cut to go to my next job. My next job was the reason I went there was specifically because they took the Alliance way of thinking. The Alliance is a book written by Reid Hoffman, and it's all about rather than thinking about your company as a family, which, the job I had previously was very like rah, rah, we're a family. But then once like someone got disgruntled, like unhappy or whatever, they got let go, and then it's not a family. You can't like fire your uncle. I
Yeah.
think it's unrealistic and incorrect to think about a company as a family, and that's the argument that the book makes is that you should think about your company as a team. And when thinking about it as a team, the idea is the individual performers have their market value increased when the company does well, and the company does well when they do well. And so it's a symbiotic relationship where everybody succeeds when we succeed best together. And that's sort of the way that I think about work and employment, and how I try to think about growing this company. And so a couple of things we really try to do is take some of the good culture elements from some other companies that I worked at, in terms of trying to like build interpersonal relationships, but then also taking that important work culture. I think culture generally tends to break down into two pieces where it's like the like more interpersonal, like fluffier stuff, company happy hours, events, things like that. And I think that's where a lot of companies really try to solely focus their quote unquote culture, but then they don't necessarily build like the work culture, making sure that you have a plan and understand what you're working towards and understand where you're going. And so taking this job at Hired was really important because it was very clear, like, at least at the beginning, when I worked there in 18 months, I worked for probably like 3 or 4 different teams. So it like changed pretty quick. But the reason I took the job was that initially I had a very clear path for what was expected of me for the next year. I explained to my boss, like, this is what I want to do. And, my boss said, okay, here's what I'm going to do to help you get there. We worked together, built out a plan, tour of duty, and we started executing and driving towards that end. And that's the part of culture that I think is often forgotten is the actual work side of it, which is, how do we help people grow towards what they want to accomplish rather than just funneling everybody through, one hallway or whatever, one
A stiff
direction.
hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
through a stiff hierarchy of what work looks like to you.